Hey loves, and I'm back, and this is actually a message that God gave me, and I've tried to record this message over the course of time, and I've just never been able to get it right, but I'm feeling like I have to because it's just sitting, and I don't want it to sit anymore. But God had highlighted to me wheat from the chaff when Jesus says he's coming to separate the wheat from the chaff, okay? He told me to look it up. Of course, I know what winnowing chaff is like because, I watch Gideon. Now, I'm not sure if they use the same practices in today's time, but I feel like it couldn't be much different. I don't know. I'm not a farmer. But the winnowing of the chaff, well, separating the wheat from the chaff, okay, so this is a process to where the wheat is heavy. So I'm going to say I place the wheat in a bowl because this is what I learned from Gideon. Say I place the wheat in a bowl and I throw it in the air, like just shuffle it. You know how you kind of flip a pancake? You don't really want to do too much. But if I flip it, the chaff is light enough to where it's going to blow away in the wind. Okay. Why is that important? It is because in this season, God, Jesus is separating the wheat from the chaff. A lot of us are wondering why we go through testing and trials, and it's agonizing. It's like, okay, really, God, could you really have told me about this before I kind of signed up for this? And first and foremost, understand that God is with you in the midst of every process you go through. Some times trials are going to be harder than others, and it's going to knock you off of your feet sometimes, okay? But it is important to be tested, okay? um so in the book of Job, we learned that Satan actually asked to test Job, and it's not because Job was a bad guy. It's actually because God thought so highly of Job. So he said, look at him. Look at my guy Job. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's that guy. And to which the devil was like, oh yeah, that's just because you got his back, He ain't really hit on nothing. God said, okay, well, since you feel like that, do what you do. But don't kill him. And don't hurt him. So Satan did everything. And Job was standing solid, standing on business, and he didn't curse God. So the situation comes around again, and Satan is like, oh, well, that's just because you didn't inflict anything on him, that's all that is. And he said, okay, I bet, do what you do. When God can, and he did, and Job was upset, but he stood on business. You know what I'm saying? In this life, there are so many people that say, Jesus, take the wheel, I want to ride with him. And as soon as Jesus take the wheel, they jumping out the passenger side because they're not built for this. They're not made like that. Too many people serve God for blessing. And then there's you and I. And we're in this thing like for the long haul. Like, we riding. Jesus is taking the wheel. We got the aux cord. You know what I'm saying? And that's all the Bluetooth, we upgraded now. But sometimes that's why it's important. First of all, you have to realize that in this season, you are being refined. For every walk and step of your life, you have to be refined. You have to be bulletproof for what lies ahead. Because if God knows who you are, you can bet the devil is seeing it. And he's going to want to knock you off of your course. When you are being tested, understand that God is really telling you he trusts you. Separating the wheat from the chaff is really distinguishing the real from the fake. And because God knows you're solid, because God thinks you're solid, he says, I'm going to prove how solid this person is. See, certain people, baby, the devil hit them with like the fourth plague. And they're like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'll see you later. Holler at you. I get my own blessing. I'm done. And you're standing firm. This is how you get to tell God. This is how you get to show God, I'm here for whatever. What's up? I'm down to ride, you know? And that is a beautiful part of the story. God knows who you are, but you prove it by standing firm. The devil wants, I'm hearing, the devil asks to sift you like wheat, baby. But you're still here. You're still serving. You're still showing up. You're not letting go of God. You are becoming somebody that you don't even recognize. You are becoming somebody that is so forward tough that you didn't even know you had it like that. And trust me, God is watching. God is not just sitting here saying, oh man, dang, you got it bad. God is looking at you like, wait until you see what I have for you. See, in our relationship with Christ, God, the Trinity, however you want to call it. Well, the Trinity, that's what I call it. But in our relationship, we have to understand a few things. Surface level friends, they're easy to find. They're also easy to leave. But those A1 day ones, you're going to go through things and you're still going to be standing there. Are you really a friend to Christ? Or are you just surface level? You're really a friend of Christ, and this is why you are still standing. There is a reward at the end. Trust me. God ain't going to miss it. But best believe he's not going to give access to somebody that's proven to him they ain't even really in it for real. And a lot of these be the times where a lot of people just fall off. They blow in the wind just like that chaff. And you being here, being weak, you're standing firm. You're letting God know, I'm ready for this. I'm built for this. And that is something that God can definitely smile upon. I know these trials is rocking you like a freight train, baby. But trust and believe it's going to be okay. Keep demonstrating your servitude. Keep showing God who you are internally. Keep allowing God to know. God, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if the sky comes falling. Okay, that just came to me. Let him know, like, God, I'm here. Because this is who he's going to send. This is who he's choosing to send. He can't send a chat because as soon as the things get tough, they running away. As soon as the crowd don't like what they're saying, they running away. And the only reason you're going to stand is because you actually love God like you say you do. Chaff ain't built like that. So allow God to keep refining you. Keep showing yourself to be a true servant of God. One day, this too shall pass. It shall pass. It's going to be like water under a bridge. Well, really, I'm going to be honest. It's going to pass this season. But you're going to have another season and another season. Keep standing firm. Keep standing firm. Because at the end of the day, you got to realize materials and all of these things that we have on the earth, baby, one day that's going to pass. The moth's going to eat that up. But the true treasure is when the trumpets get to blaring and Jesus is giving us our hug. That's when you know you truly made it. Keep being the solid wheat you are. I promise one day you're going to be standing in eternity with the Almighty, knowing that it was all worth it. And it may not feel worth it now. It may be like, really, God? This is what you're doing? But one day, it will all be worth it. And you will be so happy that you kept standing and you stood firm. And two, don't let the devil knock you off your rocker. Don't let him tell you who you is and who you ain't. Don't let him sit here and call you a fake friend. We ain't one day once, for real, okay? Anywho, I pray this bless you. I love you. More importantly, God loves you. Peace.